Good evening. Welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School boys basketball. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro, being joined by Jim Allinder and Phil Hill for tonight's East Brunswick-Sayreville High School game. And Jimmy, Sayreville comes in, but East Brunswick looked pretty good the other night.
Oh, boy, didn't they? They played really well against J.P. Stevens. And it may be a little bit of a different story tonight against Sayreville. Sayreville has, as Phil's going to allude to, a deceptive 2-4 record. They're an athletic team, but East Brunswick is definitely on a roll. I talked to Bo Henning, the East Brunswick coach, before this game, and he is genuinely concerned with Sayreville tonight. He feels that last year in the county tournament, East Brunswick nudged out Sayreville for one of the final berths in the county tournament, and maybe unjustifiably so. And he feels that the Sayreville coach, Hank Connolly, is going to use that as motivation against East Brunswick, and it could be a little bit of a problem. Phil will also tell you more about Sayreville adding more players to their team. That's going to be another source of concern. But I think if East Brunswick can do what it does best, and that's score points with Tim Cannon. Right. He had 24 points the last game, and he did them remarkably well. He showed some speed, some good outside shooting, some good moves to the basket. The whole team played well. I think depth is another advantage for East Brunswick that we haven't seen in a few years, and they may be able to exploit that tonight against Sayreville.
Okay, East Brunswick comes in 3-3, taking on a Sayreville team 2-4, but Phil, last year they kind of turned a new leaf, if you will.
A new leaf, 11-10 last year, the first winning season in 14 years, says Hank Connolly, and that says quite a bit for the Sayreville Bombers. And they come in here and they have some excitement. They're a little excited. They got Mike Clark back. Young fellow decided that he wasn't going to play basketball. Then he was, then he wasn't, then he was again, and now he's played against Piscataway his first game back and scored 15 points. They have some talent on the team, an all-around player in Rob Markovich, who's the fine shooter for them, and the quarterback of the Bomber football team, Chris Sola, as well. A lot of football players on this team here, a lot of athletes on this team here, so they're going to be taking it to the Bears tonight.
Well, it should be a good matchup, East Brunswick and Sayreville, and we'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment. Well, we welcome you back to East Brunswick High School for tonight's East Brunswick-Sayreville basketball game. You see Sayreville out on the court already. They're in the visitor white, East Brunswick in the home green, as Bo Henning is ready to give some last-minute instructions.
And you take a look at Josh Quisnell, 6'6" for the Bombers, but after that it's downhill.
Interesting, Cannon takes center jump for East Brunswick. Boy, he has turned into a very versatile player.
Had a great game the other night, and they'll do it again. This time it'll go over to Sayreville, and knocked out off an East Brunswick player, Sola. Good heads-up play.
Sola with the playground play. Throw it off the guy. Near you.
Clark is number 12. He's the playmaker.
15 points in his first appearance. I guess he didn't have too much rust.
Yeah, as Phil mentioned, a lot of these players coming off the football field and onto the hardwood.
And Hank Connolly had a lot to say about that, and time permitting, we'll talk about it.
Last game, a lot of loose play going up and down the court. You're not going to see that with Sayreville necessarily. Hank Connolly has a system that he uses. It's taken him a couple of years, but this is the first year after 4 years of coaching that every one of these players have had 4 years of experience under him, and you're seeing some deliberate, patient play here.
And the Bears content to stay in the man-to-man defense right now.
Sayreville looking underneath, stolen by Beck. Quickly Whalen to Van Leeuwen. Shot, won't go. Ball's alive, Cannon on the follow-up, and he's got it.
So, Phil, you mentioned it, or John, you mentioned that Sayreville has a disadvantage with height. I think you saw it there.
Shot won't go. Cannon, rebound. He's got a man down court. Van Leeuwen across to Whalen.
Good pass.
A little strong. And rebound Sayreville. Quisnell
doing a good job to keep his balance, Quisnell. Good movement by the Bears. As you mentioned, Whalen just up a little too hard.
King knocks over Whalen.
And I'll tell you, give Whalen some credit there for drawing that foul.
That was Mike Clark.
Mike Clark trying to drive to the basket well and stepping in front of him and drawing the foul.
Michael Clark, an all-state receiver, football for Sayreville, one of the fastest players, definite Division I prospect.
Berchowitz still looking across court to Whalen.
Boy, that's a good matchup with Van Leeuwen. Look at the defense that's being played by Clark and against Van Leeuwen, Phil.
Beck inside, Berchowitz can't do anything. Outside, Whalen, short. Rebound, Sayreville. Bears are on top, 2-0. Sayreville content to play on the outside. Stolen by Whalen. It's him and King. And around the world, but it drops. Making it 4-0 East Brunswick. Trisnell. Not this time.
Okay, Benchowitz with a good rebound.
That was a strong board.
Using the body there.
Gives it to Whalen. Whalen has it stolen, and a foul's going to be called on number 10, Sola.
I'll tell you, Chris Sola reaching in there, an official right on top of it, calling it. Sola felt he had it.
Go out from the side. Bears on top, 4-0, 5:22 remaining in this first period. Van Leeuwen now. He'll give it to Cannon. He'll try the three-pointer. He finds the net.
That's Tim Cannon. He's become a three-point specialist.
When you talk about 3 points, Jim,
Shot three-pointer. Not this time for Sayreville.
the Bombers aren't shy about taking three-pointers. They've made 28 so far this year.
Okay.
Whalen to Benchowitz.
Cannon has
short.
I'm sorry. Cannon has 10 already. That's his 11th.
Sola. Ball's alive.
Good tie
And we'll have a jump ball.
I'll tell you. Okay, both players being rather aggressive, and you like to see them go at the ball like that.
And it'll be green ball, East Brunswick's ball in that tie-up.
So Benchowitz will inbound. Bears on top, 7-0. Whalen brings it up court. He'll look for someone cutting across outside to Whalen. Van Leeuwen cuts in, no go. Whalen to Beck. Beck has the lane. He has the shot.
And they're giving Beck that shot. They're collapsing back and allowing Beck to take that shot. He's got to hit it.
Clark looking down court quickly for King.
Well,
King will pull it out, give it over to Clark. And bad pass that time.
well, there's a communication problem right
Well,
there.
the communications, as we mentioned, Mike Clark hasn't been back with the team that long. A lot of these young fellas haven't played together very much. Markovich out with an injury earlier himself, so it's a matter of time, and Hank Connolly says it's going to take some time.
Looking underneath for Cannon was Benchowitz. Little strong.
Well, East Brunswick's pitching a shutout here.
7-0 with 3:54 remaining first period. A lot of action, few scoring though. King will try it on the right side. Looks for a lane, drives, and they're going to call a charge.
That's a foul. I'll tell you, tough call there.
It really was a tough call. Not sure that Benchowitz had position, but nonetheless. So King picks up his first foul. That's 3 team fouls for Sayreville. East Brunswick has 0.
Clock is running. 3:25, and Cannon stepped out of bounds.
And you hear Hank Connolly yelling out 3. Play number 3.
Oh, you haven't had any timeouts thus far.
Clark in the corner.
Play number 3 is a 3. On the back.
Foul. Benchowitz will be called.
All right.
Shot was taken by Markovich from the corner.
I'll tell you, Brian Benchowitz, however, is around the defensive boards. He's been up there quite frequently.
Sayreville will inbound underneath its own basket. Drisnell will take it. He'll get it to Clark. Clark will put it up left-handed, short. Cannon coming down quickly, driving right through Sayreville, dishes it off to Van Leeuwen. Underneath is Bentrowitz, trying to draw the foul, has the ball stolen. Cannon comes up with it and makes the basket.
And Cannon gets the basket. Poetic Justice, I felt that he should have taken it up the first time when he passed off on it.
9-0 East Brunswick, 2:40 remaining, first period. Clark over to Sola.
Cannon actually went down and is limping a little bit.
Rebound Van Leeuwen. He'll take it and pump it in and out. King looking for some help down court.
Starting to run a little bit.
They have to. They have to change their tactic.
Markovich, long.
Boy, they can't buy a bucket.
Markovich, one of the better shooters, not able to hit.
Van Leeuwen will pump it wide.
So,
and here comes Clark, driving
look at
along
that
the
speed.
baseline. Block.
I'll tell you, nice job by Will in there.
Right.
Staying right in his face.
He was around him, but he also got some help. Beck came over. So we got some substitutions.
Number 20 is Joe Moran. Kareem Glover, number 25, and 32 is Jim Kolakowski, now in for East Brunswick.
And no substitutions yet for the Bombers, and depth is definitely a problem for them.
Sola, three-pointer. Makes it 9-3 as Sayreville gets on the board.
That's Sola's 14th three-pointer of the year.
Cannon inside to Beck. He'll move it out and gets it back to Cannon.
He's going to go.
Shot, short. Beck
good
with
defense.
the rebound. Has it blocked. Ball still alive. And it goes out East Brunswick's way.
And both teams playing good defense right there.
Phil, you get the feeling that if Sayreville's going to get back in this game, they're going to have to hit some outside shots.
As I said, they came in this game with 28 three-pointers, I think second in the county, and they have the ability to do it.
Glover inbounds to Cannon, three-pointer off the rim. Solo with a big rebound. Clock down to 1:15. Our score is 9-3, East Brunswick in front. Sola around the horn, and he's called for a charge.
Second.
I'll tell you, that's his second foul, and I think both offensive fouls.
It's a little uncontrolled.
And Sola looks to the bench and says, "What do you want me to do, coach?" And I think the coach will probably say, "You got to be in control, a little more in control."
Glover will set things up. Minute 2. Kolakowski gives it to Moran, to Glover. Beck finds Kolakowski, and he's got it. (11-3) our score. Bears by 8 with 40 seconds remaining. First period action from East Brunswick High School. Markovich, short this time. Moran.
Good play.
Finds Cannon, and he's fouled.
And that's Sola's third foul.
Yes, third foul for him. That's trouble.
And he's the quarterback on this basketball court as well as being the quarterback on the field. And he's got to come out, slams his fist down on the chair there, and it's going to really hurt the Bombers to have him out. He hasn't done much since he's been in there, hit that three, the only 3 points that they have. But he's the one that sort of controls this team. But quite frankly, he's been out of control himself.
Yes, he has.
O'Neal comes in, number 22 for Sola. Bears on top by 8. Cannon to make it 9.
He has 8 points already.
12-3 our score. Cannon will get another. 27 seconds remaining, first period. And a lane violation is called against Sayreville.
I'll tell you, when it rains, it pours. Sayreville not able to do much, very much right now.
Cannon, just a 38% foul shooter so far this year.
And Bentrowitz will come back in and give Cannon a rest with 27 seconds showing.
leading free throw shooter is Matt Van Leeuwen, who has an 82% average. That's about the highest average I've seen an East Brunswick player in quite a long time. Overall, they're shooting 54% from the line.
King will pump it up from 3-point distance. Did they give it to him?
No, just two.
Stepped inside. He was looking for it. 13-5, 10 seconds. East Brunswick will play for the last shot. Moran will put it up and banks it in.
Sure, he planned it that way.
And that'll be it. After one, it's East Brunswick 15, Sayreville 5.
Wow. So Tim Cannon, leading scorer for East Brunswick after one period with 8 points. 9 points. He had the beneficiary of that second or third foul shot. And you got some more scoring from Richie Whalen, 2 points, Kolakowski 2, and Moran 2. And just Sola, who has 3 fouls, Phil, has a 3-pointer, and King that 2-pointer from the outside. And that's been the scoring. It's a low-scoring quarter, but things are going East Brunswick's way.
Most definitely.
Let's listen in to Bo.
Still play down there. After you screen, you got to make sure you know where the ball is, because you're probably going to be the guy who's open. Those guys are just running off these screens. Okay, now, you dribble it to one side, point man, whoever the opposite post man is, that guy out front is going to follow him. Don't be afraid to come to the high post, swing and look inside for your partner, or look for a one-on-one opportunity, okay? All right, defensively right now, we're staying 22, okay? I'm going to switch it soon, and we're going to extend the court soon. All right, let's go. Come on, let's go. Keep it up.
Okay, you heard him call for defensively 22, which is a half-court defense, half-court man-to-man, and he says he's going to start out with that and switch it up pretty soon.
All right, we start the second period. Bears on top 15-5.
They got to be looking inside.
Shot. Markovic finally makes it. 15-7. Glover quickly down to Kolakowski. Back around the horn it goes. Moran. Off the rim. Here comes O'Neal quickly down. He's going to have to pull up. There's no one there for Sayreville. King is not shy putting it up. Bencherowitz. He's fouled, and yes.
And who gets the foul on this one?
.25, that's Markovic.
Markovic, he picks up his first foul.
Cannon will come in, and Beck will take a break.
And you take a look at Benchovic there. Now, we've been talking about him certainly these first 2 games, and he has played a steady, solid, all-around game. I like his work on the defensive board and
in and out.
Constantly hustling.
17-7, Sayreville will bring it up court. They trail by 10. Clark. Markovic, who's come out now from underneath the basket. Clark will set it up again to King. King, who's not afraid to put it up, will do just that and makes it.
Good strong move by the junior.
17-9, Glover all the way as Kolakowski back to Cannon. They're going to say he took a step.
Well, they're going to get Cannon on the travel, and I'll tell you what, East Brunswick really presents problems for most defenses. They've shown that they can score inside tonight, but all they have to do is flip it out to that outside, and you got a host of any player. Cannon, Van Leeuwen, Whalen, they're all good outside shooters.
And Leeuwen and Whalen come back in for East Brunswick. Bears by 8, 17-9. King to the hoop. In and out.
Ooh.
No call that time. Quincell coming over the top of about 3 players. But Whalen will give it to Cannon. He'll set and fire. In and out. Spun right out.
And Quincell with the rebound.
Clark. As Whalen comes out on him. He's got the lane. And he's got it knocked away by Cannon.
And Clark draws the foul right there. Whalen right on top of him, however. And I'll tell you, Jim, you mentioned this young fellow as being one of the fastest players in the state. No doubt about it. Had a chance to see him play football several times, and just a lightning fast player. Sort of puts you in mind of Vernell Johnson. That type of quickness. And he's going to be a good one for someone.
Yeah, he hasn't announced any choices yet, but I know he's going to get some visits. Actually had some already, which is probably one of the reasons why he delayed coming out for the basketball team.
Well, I know it gave Hank Connolly more gray hairs, but Hank Connolly, a pretty laid-back guy, took it rather well.
Well, you haven't talked to him like he got burned last year, if you remember, by DJ Cleary and Harry Nickelny.
You're right.
Whalen quickly to Van Leeuwen. Back to Bencherowitz. Off the glass, tap, back, tap again. Ooh. Yes, Cannon taps it in.
Nice
Tim
play.
Cannon.
19-9, East Brunswick by 10. 5:45 remaining before halftime. And a little shoulder there by King.
Well, they're going to call that on Bencherowitz blocking.
Woo.
Brian's second foul.
A little dip and shift there, but no call. Sayreville down by 10.
By the way, if you want to look at football players, it seems like we're going to be describing the football team all night. The player with the ball right now, number 22, Jason O'Neill, is just a sophomore. And keep your eye on him because he was a quality defensive player for them. I know that Sal Mastretta, the football coach, said he was probably one of the best athletes in the school already.
Wow.
And a foul's called against, I believe, East Brunswick Cannon.
You're right.
Getting a little physical underneath.
Yep. That was a question I asked Bo Henning. I said, are you concerned with the possibility of opponents becoming physical with Tim Cannon? And he said he's going to have to watch it because you saw in that last game with Steve that he got roughed up pretty good.
Quick move that time by King.
A lightning quick move by King, who has 6 points.
19-11, Bears by 8. Look around. Van Leeuwen has the shot. He'll take it off the back of the rim. Saved by Kolakowski.
Nice one, too.
Stolen this time, though, by Markovich. And Clark makes it.
So you see this quick attack potential that Sayreville has.
19-13. Bears lead is now cut to 6. Cannon looks inside for Beck.
Yes.
It won't go, but he's fouled by Quisnell, rather.
Quisnell 6'6", going up and fouling the 6'4". Beck.
Now I've got to think this Beck is related to Whitey Beck and Tom Beck.
You might be right, but you could be wrong also. We'll try to find that out.
We have to find that out. Well, averaging 4.8 points per game.
Makes the first to make it 20-13. Off on the second as King comes down with the rebound. 4:25 showing on the clock. Second period action from East Brunswick High School. King dishes it off.
That's long.
Shot won't go. King follows up with the rebound. And Cannon somehow comes out with it. Then Markovich. Quinsell to King. And Sayreville keeping it alive.
They're going to start it all over.
Ball stolen.
Nice lead pass.
Cannon. Whoa, he's hit by Markovich.
Hey, tell you.
John, Jimmy, I think that's what you're talking about.
Yep.
Timmy Cannon on the drive to the basket this year is going to take some shots. It's simple as that.
Well, he has ability to sort of race out, and he leaves himself open. Meanwhile, this mini run by Sayreville to bring the margin to within 7 is all done without Chris Sola in the lineup.
Cannon at the line.
And you
He'll
pointed
get another.
out, we hate to keep pointing out, but if he has any weakness, it seems to be his foul shooting. Not a terribly good foul shooter.
Well, he is 2 for 5 from the line tonight. And 38% free throw shooting average this season.
Clark going to his left. Will take the shot. Short. Right to Kolakowski. And Whalen will bring it up quickly. Has it stolen by King.
Wow.
That's 2.
Low reverse layup won't go. Follow up.
This is Bowman, I believe.
That's Bowman.
Jamal Bowman.
The Reverend.
The Reverend Bowman.
One of the fine
basket.
defense. Yet another football player.
Van Leeuwen short. He's cold tonight, Jim, thus far.
Well, he has 11
Bowman.
points.
I'll tell you.
He's the type of guy that could light a charge in for Sayreville.
This Bowman, man, is sort of put together.
Yes,
what
he is.
a warrior on the football field, and showing some ability on the basketball court, at least some aggressiveness anyway.
Not that I want to see it. Could you imagine him hitting Cannon on a driving layup?
Shot by King. Won't go. Beck tries to save. It does, but it'll be taken by Sayreville. King has it stripped away. Markovich on the layup.
Good
Nice move. And this game is
20-17.
Yes, it's starting to get close now.
2:25 showing. Cannon takes the step, takes the shot, and is wide left.
Oh, wow. And I'll tell you, you see the guys slapping 5 there, but what they're saying is both of them were going for the ball, both of them being very aggressive. And no harm, no foul, they're saying. I don't blame you, you don't blame me. We just wanted the ball.
But they should have said we're on the same team. Van Leeuwen, short again.
Nothing's falling for the Bears.
Quisnell with the rebound.
Drisnell
Here they
quickly
come.
to King. And Beck with a big rebound.
Had the right idea, it just wouldn't fall.
I'll tell you, that Bilal King is an impressive
Well,
athlete as well.
Hank Connolly says he's a basketball player playing football.
Yeah. Whalen, three-pointer, short. Ball alive by Kolakowski. Cannon finally. 22-17 with 1:44. Clock ticking down.
And the Bears putting a little full court pressure on right now.
That's 13 points for Tim Cannon. He far and away is the leading scorer for these Brunswick Bears.
And Clark somehow gets it up and in. Whoa.
I thought he was off balance. Somehow he ended up making a shot anyway.
You're right, Phil. He was off balance, and he made the shot.
Kolakowski, long on a three-pointer. Clark yelling and screaming. Phil, they've gotten some life here.
They've got some life for real.
Clark off the rim, rebound Van Leeuwen. East Brunswick.
Have we had a timeout yet? I don't believe
No,
we
we
have.
haven't. Kolakowski, back to Van Leeuwen, the three-pointer.
In and out.
In
Wow.
and out. This poor guy just can't get one.
Markovich with the rebound.
52 seconds. King catches breath. You know he's going to go back that way. Looks underneath. Bowman. Bowman too far underneath. They're going to play it down for one. Sayreville looks tired at the moment.
Somebody's got to come out to meet him.
Oh, bad
Stolen
pass.
by Beck. Good play to Kolakowski. 22 seconds. Cannon looks underneath. There's Van Leeuwen. Good
I'll tell
play.
you, just a good look, an unselfish feed by Timmy Cannon there to hit Van Leeuwen underneath.
Clock down to 12 seconds. Sayreville will get across the line and play for the one. And a block is called against Whalen. That's close.
I'll tell you, when what we've seen thus far is that seemingly when there should have been
Foul called.
a foul called,
Yeah.
it's been called offensive, and this time Whalen seemed to have position. And
Whalen will take a break.
King tried to squeeze
called
his
for the
way
block.
through, and he paid for it. He's hurting right now.
he's hurting right now, and you can see it clearly. He's used to squeezing through, though. They will. I'll tell you, it's just to think how many all-county players.
Good defensive play.
Van Leeuwen strips it from King at the buzzer. Bowman won't go. But Sayreville has come back to life and back into this game at halftime. They trail 24-19.
Bilal King can just about walk up the court here, so he's in some pain here. But an exciting first half after all.
Yeah, he took a knee in that squeeze play there where they called a blocking foul, and he's easing it off. But all things considered, this game could have been out of reach after the first period. East Brunswick bolted out to that lead, and then Sayreville stuck to its guns. That's the Hank Connolly way. And I think Bo Henning has a little bit of a challenge ahead of himself trying to shut down Sayreville because they seem to be on a roll, Phil and John.
Well, it should be an interesting second half, and we'll be back with the action in just a moment. All right, you're looking at Mr. and Mrs. Bencherowitz enjoying the game. In fact, I was just talking to his dad outside. Faithful fans, and have been over the years.
That they have.
Jimmy, you have the scoring?
Yes, primary scorer for East Brunswick was Tim Cannon with 13 points. Took an awful lot of shots, though, didn't he, Phil? Matt Van Leeuwen with 2 points. Neil Beck just 1 point from the foul line. Bencherowitz with 2. Whalen with 2. Kolakowski 2. And Joe Moran 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different scorers for East Brunswick.
Nope.
And we'll get the Sayreville scoring after this.
All right, East Brunswick starts this third period off. They are leading 24-19. And right away, a foul call against Van Leeuwen.
Traveling. Bilal King has 6 points to lead Sayreville. Markovich with 4, Clark with 4, and Sola with a 3-pointer, and Bowman with a 2-pointer. That's it.
And Bilal King had a thigh bruise, but seems to be all right.
Sola back in the game with 3 fouls. And that's he with the shot.
Wow.
And that's he with the 3-pointer.
I'll tell you, a blind turnaround 3 for him. That's his second 3 and his 15th of the season.
Score 24-22. The Bears now by 2. Underneath Beck. Follow-up Bencherowitz.
Mr. Dependable there. Points are going to come hard, and I think they're going to be more deliberate.
Okay, full court pressure by the Bears here.
Sola will bring it up. Cannon on top of him.
Okay, tight, and it's still here.
That was
Beck
good
with
defense.
it. Gives it to Whalen. Whalen back to Bencherowitz. Underneath, Beck. The shot in the basket.
It's his first 2-pointer of the night.
Comes at an opportune time. Extends the Bears' lead to 6,
Right.
28-22.
Now, with this lineup, East Brunswick definitely has the height advantage.
And a foul that time on Bencherowitz.
And King Tate's going to take it out on the side. It has a look on his face like, you know, wow, I really needed that foul.
Third foul on Bencherowitz. So
You have to be concerned about that.
see if Bo makes a move within the next few minutes. Sola looking. Will take it. The 3-pointer.
Wow, looked
Short.
away. I don't know that he even looked at the basket.
Here comes Cannon.
Good
Inside, Bencherowitz.
Good feed, but he
Not
misses
this time. Sola riding high above the rim. Pulls it down, brings it up court.
Solo,
Behind the back
little
pass,
showmanship.
Clark, not this time.
Wow.
Cannon 3-pointer. No.
But he's cold shooting tonight, even though he has 13 points.
Van Leeuwen will give it to Cannon inside the back. Left-handed layup. And Sayreville wants a timeout. And we're going to go listen into the Sayreville bench. See what Coach Harry Connolly has to say.
Number one, you two guys are going to gun us right out of the game. Okay? You two. Okay? No, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. There's nobody expecting the shot. There's no rebounder. There's nothing happening. We don't come close to an offensive rebound. It's got to be within the framework of the offense to have a chance of getting an offensive rebound. That's number one. Number two, we try to run the number one offense. One time nobody knew where to go, and the other time you threw the ball away. Don't pick up your dribble right away, okay? Next time offensively down here, we're 3. Let's run the guy in the corner and get the shot. 1, 2, 3, let's go, Bombers. Come on, let's go.
That was a good huddle to listen to.
Hank Conley, interesting guy. He wants to make a point. Cleary said to me earlier that Sola and Clark are not football players that play basketball. They're basketball players that play football.
Right.
I don't know if that's true anymore.
Well, the fact was that Clark was a little perturbed that he was disciplined for taking the outside. He thought he had a clear shot. Connolly stuck to his guns, and that's how you get discipline on a team.
Sola makes the basket. And Jimmy, I couldn't help but be struck by the lack of discipline in that huddle versus East Brunswick.
Just different styles, I think.
Yep.
Van Leeuwen hits. 33-24.
Got a 9-point lead now.
Bears have opened it up a little bit with 5:15 remaining, third period. Sola pulls up, takes the shot, and he's hot.
Yeah, he's starting to get hot. He's got 10 points now.
Whalen.
Whoops.
Will it go? No. Cannon, rebound, left side, blocked.
Blocked by Quisnell.
And a foul underneath.
Stepped on the line. No? Foul?
Drisnell, I think, is going to call for a push.
0-0.
Yep.
It's Quisnell.
Okay. Second foul for him.
So Whalen will inbound and look for Bentrowitz and off Drisnell's hands.
I'll tell you, good effort by Josh Quisnell. Almost came up with the steal.
They'll do it over. Whalen has Beck partially blocked.
Quisnell blocked it and hit the line.
I'll tell you, Quisnell being quite active there, using all of that height, 6'6".
So for the third time, East Brunswick now will get it to Van Leeuwen. He'll take the shot.
That's a foul.
And Clark runs into him.
And Clark will be whistled for his second foul.
Our score is 33-26. Bears on top, 4:50 showing on the clock. Third period from East Brunswick High School. East Brunswick looking to improve their record to 4-3. Sayreville came in with a 2-4 record. And Van Leeuwen missing the first.
And we're talking about an 82% shooter from the foul line, far and away East Brunswick's best foul shooter. So he gets 3 shots. It's a
3-point attempt.
Oh, the foul was 3. Right. So it's 35-26. Bears by 9 again.
Full court pressure by the Bears.
Sola.
And he's
Everything's going in.
I'll tell you.
Well, he's getting good looks at the basket. That's what's important.
Inside for Beck. And it seems at halftime, Bo's strategy is to get that ball underneath.
And I tell you, Quisnell for the Bombers has come alive. Anytime there's a loose ball, his hand's there.
Whalen inbound. Cannon. Off the back of the rim. Quisnell with the rebound quickly to Markovich. He'll take it himself. And good block by Van Leeuwen. It's going to be a jump ball.
And Hank Conley jumps up off his bench and gets the technical for it. He's upset. He thought there was clearly a foul. And
must have been what he said.
I don't think, well, there's two things. They have a new rule now, Jim, that you really can't leave the bench. He jumped up, the official caught him out of the corner of his eye and called the technical right away. I tell you, Markovich might have been at fault more than anybody. No one underneath the basket there. Markovich decided to take it in himself, and it was called for the jump ball. Right. I think that's what Hank Connolly was really upset about.
Van Leeuwen makes it 36.
I don't think there's any question that Van Leeuwen's going to be the one going to the line.
Phil, as Van Leeuwen's at the line, I'm watching the Reverend Bowman here, and he's doing a lot of coaching from the bench.
Is it preaching or coaching?
Yeah, he's a little upset with his teammates. He's yelling for some defense here. And they can use it. They trail 37-28. As Whalen will have the open shot. And he's short, but good follow-up by Bentrowitz.
Again, Bentrowitz has been in the right spot for the follow-up about 3 times this week tonight.
39-28. Clark is fouled from behind.
He's fouled twice, actually.
And I think they're going to call on Van Leeuwen.
And
no, it's on Whalen.
That's his second check.
And Glover will come in for Whalen.
That's his third. So Clark is 0 for 2 from the line tonight. And these are important foul shots now. Two crucial misses.
Once again, Bentrowitz with the rebound.
Quickly down to Cannon. East Brunswick on the offense.
Phil, I think that 0 for 4 by Clark is
Glover.
definitely rustiness.
Oh, and they're going to call a foul on Clark against Glover.
If it is, that's Clark's third foul.
Jim, you were saying Clark's rustiness, and then some of that's to be expected. We can't continue to make excuses for him, but the fact of the matter is, decided not to play basketball this year, changed his mind, decided, then changed his mind again, and then Hank Connolly just didn't let him come back, said, listen, I'll give you 4 days. If you're not fooling around and your head seems to be in it, I'll let you back on the team, and that's exactly what happened.
Glover misses the first. King out on the sidelines with an ice pack on his thigh.
Yeah, he's hurt.
And you take a good look at Glover. Glover came up with some big shots and big steals for the Bears last year.
Look at Bentrowitz with the rebound.
What a game he's having. Cannon forces his way inside. Markovic loses it.
And I tell you, give Bentrovic credit to get there again. He's been all over the place.
East Brunswick will have it under their own basket. With 3:43 remaining, they lead 39-28. Van Leeuwen, three-pointer. Yes! 42-28.
And Van Leeuwen is starting to get a couple points here. He had 4 foul shots that he made, and combine that with 8 points, so he's got 10 points here.
Cannon quickly on a 3-on-2 to Glover.
Had to be steps. The official, surprisingly, the official on top of it did not call it.
Well, I kind of thought he got rid of the ball before he came down, but I guess not.
Thought he took steps. The official off the ball called it, and it was the right call.
Still, it's a 14-point lead, John. It's game could be getting away from Sayreville now.
From the corner, Markovic. And they're going to call a foul on Bentrowitz.
And if you're Bohenning, you don't mind that type of foul there. It's just, again, Brian Bentrovic has been terribly aggressive all day, and it's been on the positive side for most of it. So
that's his 4th, so he'll take a breather. Kolakowski comes in as Sola looks to inbound. He gives it to O'Neal. Sayreville needs to get something going as Sola's cooled off. Clark has not been a factor much the second half.
You have a feeling he's going to go with it.
Sola puts it up, three-pointer.
Mercy.
42-31.
And that's his 4th three-pointer tonight.
15 points, leads all scorers.
Bears by 11. Van Leeuwen drives the paint. Woo! Makes it.
12 points for Van Leeuwen.
Matt Van Leeuwen with a pretty move.
A lot of them coming in this half, this quarter.
Clark puts one up. Rebound by Cannon. Markovic gets it back, stolen by Whalen.
Markovic had the shot himself and
Here we
decided
go.
to pass
Here we
off.
go.
Cannon lays it in.
Okay.
Just wasn't in position for the jam.
Back and forth we go.
2:10 showing on the clock. Bears by 15. And we'll listen in to Bohenning.
And Bo is walking out to the court. Very rarely do I ever see him do that, and he's in Glover's face right now. Very rarely do you see that happen with Bohenning. But clearly, Cream Glover did something that Bo wasn't pleased with. And he just pat him on the back and said, shake it off and let's get back in the game there.
All right, let's listen in. Well, we're having some technical difficulties, or Bo shut off the mic, we're not sure.
I think when he hugged Cream Glover there, it may have knocked the mic sort of awry. But again, Bo has done a super job there. I think he wants his team seems to be in a rhythm right now, and he wants them to keep up the pressure there.
Well, they're back up to a 15-point lead. I think they had that lead earlier in the first half.
They did, Jim. We have 2:08 remaining on the clock in the third period. East Brunswick, as Jimmy said, on top by 15, 46-31.
And Bowman will enter the game.
Clark will try to get things going for the Bombers.
And I have to think they're going to be looking for Sola here.
Well, you can imagine they're going to be putting them up from the outside there. They're going to be some threes coming.
And he's getting ready.
And there it goes. Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
What a shot. That's his 4th three.
That's his 5th, Jim.
5th? Okay.
Kolakowski looks inside, should have taken the shot. Zola loses control.
Woo! And I'll tell you, good hustle by the young fellow there. Almost destroyed the bench here and almost spectator as well.
What about our suit jackets? Are they okay? Check the pockets. He went through awful quick.
But Sola came into this game with 13 threes and has added 5 more threes here.
East Brunswick will move it about. 12-point lead. Clark knocks it away.
And Solo's with him.
And he'll pull up and take the shot. Right back to Cannon, however.
And Clark pulled up very close to getting that 5th foul, I believe.
Glover underneath to Kolakowski, blocked by Quisnell. That gets Bowman excited.
And Bowman's preaching again out on the court there. You gotta like to have a guy like that on your team.
Yeah, that's his style.
He's calling offense, he's calling defense, he's calling fouls, he's doing it all for him. Now if he could score, Glover.
With the hook.
Quesnel reached out with the arm.
I'll tell you, Glover hooked him though, and the official standing right there did not call it. You see the pros do it a lot, and then they do it a lot in college, and when they see it, they call it. Oh, wow, we just had, everything's happening tonight. We just had the water on the East Brunswick bench tumble over.
And as long as, well, I don't know, is it going on the court?
Or Gatorade, whatever it is.
It's not Gatorade.
No, that's not Gatorade.
That's East Brunswick water.
And if it's the water we're drinking, it's no loss, believe me.
Okay,
horrible.
Glover for his second shot here.
Thanks, Phil.
Hey, he missed the first, by the way.
And he makes it.
Makes it 47-34, a minute 2. So we've had action on and off the court. As Sola, who's become the three-point man tonight, gets it over to Clark. And that's been their offense, really. Bowman back out to Sola. He'll put it up.
Short.
Short this time. Cannon.
Good feed.
Has Glover. Oh, they're going to call a travel.
In case you're interested, East Brunswick 7 for 17 from the line thus far. And very fortunate that they've been successful on a lot of shots underneath, or there could be some trouble.
And you got Bowman out of the game, and Bilal King has come back in the game. Bilal has been nursing that thigh bruise on the sideline. I'm not sure if he really wants to be back in the game. Nevertheless, he's back there.
He's stretching.
40 seconds remaining. Sola drives the court, gives it to King.
Well, he's definitely slowed down now.
Cross court, saved by Clark. He'll shoot it. No, he
Good
looks
pass.
underneath for King.
Good pass.
A good give and go. 23 seconds.
8 points.
Third period. Van Leeuwen back to Glover. Inside, Kolakowski sets, fires. Off the rim. And they're going to call
back.
back.
Catch back. First foul. But I believe, is that a one-on-one? We'll check. I think the next one is a bonus.
Okay, 14 seconds. You're going to see.
No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. That's only 14 foul.
You can look for a 3 attempt.
Well, I hope they realize that there's that much time on the clock, because it doesn't seem like they do.
5 seconds. And that's going to do it. Van Leeuwen.
Poor time management.
Whoa! Won't go, but won't count, rather. It did go.
And you got to wonder whether the Bombers really knew how much time was left on the clock.
Right. Exactly.
So after 3, it's East Brunswick 47, Sayreville 36. And as you look at Bo Henning, if I could ask our cameraman, Dave, to look at the athletic office. I don't know if we can get a shot over there, but the gentleman coming out will be that of someone quite familiar to all of us here at East Brunswick.
He's well hidden back there.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come out, and that's Dud Ty. Dud Ty, who retired this year.
That's right.
After 37 and a half years as a teacher and coach at East Brunswick High School. And I'll tell you, one of the nicest men you'll ever meet in high school sport, a true gentleman, an excellent teacher. I know that they missed Dud, and Dud probably went out the back door, of course.
Here he is.
Yep. There he comes. You can see him with his famous hat. He's coming out, tipping his hat, a little bow.
He's out of here. There he is.
Here he comes across your screen now.
Well, he's going to be honored at the Chateau, John, on
yes,
February
he will.
5th.
February 5th, Dud Ty Retirement Thank You Dinner at the Chateau. If you're interested, please call Frank Knoppenberg at number 613. Is that 6930?
You know, I think it's 6930, yes.
Or 0930, either one. Try those. Frank Knoppenberg if you would like information. As we get back to the game now, East Brunswick with a 11-point lead, 47-36, as we start the fourth period, and
they
the travel.
call that travel on
Boy,
Markovitz.
they really do.
And
It's called more frequently in high school basketball than it is in college or professional.
Professional, they don't know what that is.
Exactly.
But Glover will bring it down, set it up for the Bears. Gives it to Beck.
Phil, can East Brunswick afford to be more deliberate?
I think they just need to play their game there. The shot selection, they perhaps can take a better selection of shots, but they got to be aggressive.
Sola might do this himself here.
Clark, he'll do it. Three-pointer won't go. Glover quickly down court comes East Brunswick. He'll take it himself.
Nice play.
And that's what I'm talking about. You can't get out of your game, Jim. You still got to do the things that brought you here.
49-36, Bears by 13. Knocked away. Glover comes up with it.
Good
Looks to
feed
Cannon.
Good pass.
To Van Leeuwen.
Oh, wow.
Got to call a timeout here pretty soon.
51-36. Sola.
Short.
Way short. Markovitz underneath. And they're going to call a foul on Beck.
I have Van Leeuwen with 16 points. And I believe that Cannon has 16 as well. Let's check that.
Okay, that's the 15th foul, so they'll bring it out on the side.
Tim Cannon has 15 points.
Venturewitz comes back into the game. Beck will take a seat. Sayreville, Sola, and he took 3 steps that time.
Actually, a nice little crowd here tonight. This game. Sayreville always brings a lot of people with them.
Certainly an easy commute. Glover now to Cannon. Kolakowski back to Glover. Glover had some thoughts about driving the baseline, pulls it back out, gives it to Venturewitz.
And the Bombers still in man-to-man defense.
Cannon will take the three-pointer. In and out. Venturewitz on the rebound to Kolakowski. They keep it alive. Glover, not this time.
Wow.
And boy, did Clark get up there. And he'll drive the court.
Gets up again, but it doesn't fall.
O'Neal with the follow-up, no. And Cannon comes down with it. And he's fouled.
Oh,
and that's
mercy,
gonna be
mercy.
good.
Al O'Neal tried to slap him on the arm. Didn't work.
And Timmy Cannon with just a super move, and underhand scoop move, and drew the foul. Comes to the line with 19 points, with 17 points tonight, and shooting for his 18th.
Good point, though, Jim. Statistically, it's better off to foul him than let him take the shot.
Absolutely.
Our score is 53-36 as Cannon goes to the line.
And if he makes it, well, he's over his average now. He's at his average, 16.7.
Ooh.
And Kolakowski with a little tip in. Oh, I thought it was in. It was off the side.
Cannon 2 for 6 tonight for a 33-point average, 33%.
And Timmy Cannon comes to the side for a well-deserved rest. He'll be back in shortly, though.
Well, 53-36. Henning was quite concerned with Sayreville. Not that this game is over, but East Brunswick shows its resiliency, is able to fend off the Bombers.
Whalen misses. Here comes Clark very quickly down the court, and they're going to call a foul on Whalen.
And I'll tell you, he's lucky. I think Clark went behind his back, lost control of the ball. I don't think he would have been able to put it up. Got foul there, and
that's Whalen's 4th.
Interestingly, Brencherwitz and Whalen have 4 fouls, and only Cannon and Beck have the other ones.
And I mentioned, as you look at Clark on the line there, interesting that he thought about not playing basketball because he was a basketball player that did come out a year to play football.
That's correct.
Which made all the difference in Sal Mastretta's football team. So Hank Conley's aware of that. And when you consider, Jim, you pointed out that Harry McKinley and
Who is at Princeton now.
Clary in their senior year chose not to play basketball.
Right.
And then he gets here and he sees the same thing happening with Clark. If you're Hank Connolly, you got to be a little concerned.
53-38. East Brunswick spreads it out a little bit now, going to more of a four-corner. Cannon over to Whalen.
I think that East Brunswick is going to continue to look for scoring opportunities. It's just that they're going to open it up so they can do that.
And Sola call for the foul. That's his fifth.
Fourth.
Fourth?
At least I have it for 4, yeah.
And I tell you, Jim, you know, Bo Henning has a number of names for his offense, the Princeton, the Michigan, and so forth. What do you think that probably was called?
North Carolina.
Whoever's number 1 this week, huh?
As we look at Mr. Whalen at the line, just thinking of a little family dilemma that the Whalens have, and that is one is playing for the boys team and one is playing for the girls. And
I think the Whalens have that, and the Cannons may have the same thing, John.
That's correct.
And with a doubleheader here tomorrow, they'll have a little peace of mind. They'll be able to see both at the same time.
Whalen makes it 55-38.
I think we need to point out that the doubleheader that's being played tomorrow night, and it'll be a Wednesday, is as a result of the postponements last week. Boys game will be played at 5:30, followed by the girls game. So here's a rare opportunity to see both East Brunswick boys and girls.
Sola with the steal and the basket.
He hasn't given up.
55-40, 4:25 showing on the clock. Cannon is fouled inside by Quisnell.
Well, I think he has to expect that if he's going to take it inside.
Well, you're right, Jim. We're tempted to say every time he goes in and gets fouled and hits the floor that we tend to be protective of him. But you're right, he's that type of ball player. And if he goes in, right, he can expect to get fouled. But he's a little wiry, but seems to be a real tough kid as well.
Quisnell picks up his 4th foul.
And Denz comes in, number 54 for Sayreville.
So Cannon with 17 points.
And he adds to the East Brunswick lead.
Now, good, he sinks a foul shot.
Okay.
Makes both of them.
19 points, so one shy of Chris Sola, who has 20 points at this juncture.
57-40, the Bears by 17, 4:20 left in the game. Sola will put it up.
And that's a line driver.
Markovich keeps it alive. They give it back to Sola. Guess what he's going to do? Oh, he dishes it off.
Surprise, surprise.
Makes his first basket of the evening, I believe. And a foul's going to be called
on Van Leeuwen, I believe.
And East Brunswick wants a timeout.
Yes.
And we're gonna try and see if Bo's mic. No. All right. We're being told that the mic is out of commission. We could listen into Hank Connolly if we like.
Let's listen.
No. Let's see if we got that one working. Well, I think we're having a little problems with the mics tonight.
Our technicians say so. I guess we'll have to listen to Jimmy, John.
And what pearls do I have? Not too much. 57-42 being the score. 4 minutes left. You would think that this game is out of reach. East Brunswick going to its 4 corners. But what we will do is look at the schedule. We mentioned that the Edison games will be played Wednesday. That's tomorrow night, our time. I know you won't thinking of that time. And then East Brunswick will continue with an away contest at St. Joseph's. These will be 3 away games on January 14th, followed by another game at Colonia. We haven't seen Colonia in quite a while, so that's a rare out of conference. And then Woodbridge, who beat East Brunswick in the opening game of the season. That'll be an opportunity to revenge that one. So that's a quick look at the next 4 games.
All right, East Brunswick will come out. Solo go to the line.
Right. And you take a look at Chris Sola. He has 20 points at his juncture, and sort of a free spirit of a kid, you know. John looks at me, but he is, and maybe a fun type kid, sort of loose, a fine quarterback. Coyle went down during the season, and Sola stepped right in and did a super job. Connolly's only concern is that Sola seems to have a lot of football in him, and maybe he has forgotten a lot of his basketball
He hasn't forgotten
skills.
much tonight.
Well,
57-44. Bears by 13. Clock showing 3:55. And East Brunswick turns it over.
started with Sola with the punch of ball from Sola from behind.
They're not giving up.
Sola puts it up.
He really has a nice touch, doesn't he?
He has a nice touch, but he doesn't mind shooting it either, Jim.
Benchowitz looking for Cannon. Turned over by East Brunswick, however.
Markowitz showing good hustle.
Underneath for Dens. Not this time.
Whoops.
And a foul's going to be called on Clark.
4. That's 4 on Mike Clark.
So what was a very fast first half has really been slowed the second half by fouls.
And we are in the 1-and-1, and Benchowitz will go to the line to shoot.
Benchowitz with 6 points tonight. I have him 4. Hasn't been well, he's been to the line 18 times thus far, 56%, which is about the team average.
Off the back of the rim. Markovich with the rebound. And Sola will bring it across the line, and he'll take the shot. Not this time, as Beck pulls it down. He'll give it to Whalen. Whalen looks underneath for Benchowitz. Back out, Van Leeuwen, three-pointer. Yes!
Boy, that was pretty. That's his third three-pointer. Boy, has he gotten on fire in the second half.
60-44 is our score.
What do you got him for, Phil? I got him for 19.
Van Leeuwen with the steal. Over to Whalen. In the corner, Cannon sets and fires.
So that's a two-pointer, and he has 21.
Sola, yes.
3.
Third three-pointer.
Right.
Van Leeuwen.
Whoa!
Fouled, and it's good.
Wow.
And we got a shooting exhibition going on here, gentlemen.
Right, I think Van Leeuwen and Cannon are having their own personal duel here. And Chris Sola for the other team, by the way.
Van Leeuwen will go to the line.
And again, a good look at Van Leeuwen, just a sophomore. The real gutsy player, according to Bohannon, a real clutch shooter. And he's put on a performance tonight. He really does have a nice touch. And you know this young man is only going to get better. I understand he has a good work ethic. The only player to play AAU this year for the Bears. And if he's going to put in that type of time and stuff, he's going to develop into a real good one.
Absolutely. So Cannon and Van Leeuwen, Cannon with 22, I believe, and Van Leeuwen with 21. So this foul shot could even things out. Again, this is always unofficial, and I usually find out I'm wrong in the box score the next day.
Van Leeuwen cans it to make it 65-47.
All right.
And Sayreville will bring it up court. They have 2:25 to work with, trailing 65-47. Sola's going nowhere but to that line. Looks inside. Markovich.
That was a tough pass.
Ooh.
And it's good.
I didn't think he had a chance of connecting on that one.
And Rob Markovich makes the basket and goes to the line. He's been a little quiet tonight. He is the leading scorer for this Bomber team. He comes in averaging nearly 15 points per game.
Now.
And well under his average here, so he's been quiet tonight.
Phil, I think if you look at both teams, as Markovich makes that foul shot, I think they're probably equal in terms of athleticism, but East Brunswick has more of a team cohesiveness than Sayreville does.
Glover is fouled the shot.
Does that go in or what?
I don't know, no call. That thing kind of hung up there.
Well,
no basket, shoots
somebody
two.
might have tipped it in.
Well,
Quisnell, I think, fouls
again,
down.
in all fairness to Conley and his staff, they just really haven't been together, and he talked incessantly about the fact the disadvantage that they're at when he says their season, you take a football team, they have 16 days to do triples if they want to, and he gets 16 days just to prepare for the entire season and feels that he's at a disadvantage. And then after that, then you get the players who aren't sure that they want to play.
By the way, Beck sits down, had a nice evening's work with 5 points. Sort of didn't notice him, but I'll tell you what, he was in there underneath.
Glover missing the first.
1 for 5 from the line, and this doesn't help East Brunswick's foul shooting average.
There he goes. Makes it 66-50. The Bears by 16.
Glover has 4 points.
2:10 showing on the clock. Sola drives, and he's fouled.
And Sola's got a lot of ham in him. He doesn't care what the score is.
I'll tell you, Phil.
What?
You have 3, 4, 5 guys like that. I mean, if he's playing from a football perspective, he's not playing all that bad.
Yeah, his thing is that he's got to be in control. He obviously has a pretty good touch, doesn't mind putting the ball up. He's just got to be in control. And he puts that down for his...
You watch the young man, he certainly gives you a show. He's got a facial expression after every shot. He gives you a few hand gestures.
I believe that's his 30th point, if I'm not mistaken. 28 or 30, either one.
Glover, yes.
6 points for Glover, who, by the way, was an intricate part of East Brunswick's team last year. He started out with a leg injury, and he's just starting to come back into form. And I think Kareem's going to become a more integral part of this year's team as he starts to improve more with that leg.
Shot missed that time by Sola. Bowman has it taken. Dan Lewin, no.
Cannon
on the follow-up.
Well, he gets the garbage points there.
Sola taking the time like Sayreville was in the lead.
23 for Cannon.
Gives it to O'Neal, gives it to Bowman, who doesn't know really what to do with it.
He's just like, I don't want it.
Sola misses, and Harper, who's in, comes down with it and feeds it to Cannon.
Good
and
move.
Cannon takes it, and Markovich with the foul.
And Cannon just set him up for the foul. Cannon knew he was going to go to the board there, lay it off the board, and if you were going to go for me, you had to foul me. And with that basket, Cannon exceeds his high point of the year, which has been 24 points. He's at 25, I believe, at this juncture.
And out goes Matt Van Leeuwen, who had a wonderful evening himself, scoring over 20 points. And coming into this game, averaging, I believe, 13.8 points per game. He's going to better that, obviously.
Cannon misses. Markovich with the rebound. And brings it up court with 50 seconds remaining in the game. Gets it to O'Neal.
Boy, still playing that tenacious defense.
Sola looking.
Well, we know he's going to take the shot.
He does, and makes it. 72-54,
That's
30
got to be
seconds.
over 30-point effort for Chris Sola.
Kolakowski, no. Ball's loose. And it'll go to Sayreville with 19 seconds. And Cannon comes out. What a fine effort he had tonight.
Yes, he did. What do we have before? 25 points?
At least.
Okay.
14, clock ticking. Sola, little spin move, looks underneath. Bowman.
Just slowly comes out with it.
7 seconds.
Doesn't look up. Look, Bowman.
He looks a little uncomfortable on the basketball court.
Harper, just short at the buzzer.
Justin missed his opportunity last game to get points, and he does this time as well.
And I'll tell you, again, a fine game for the Bears. You look at the Bombers. They're laughing and stuff. I mean, it's not life and death like when we played. It's like, hey, the game's over, we lost, let's move on.
Well, I'll tell you about this East Brunswick team. They started off a little bit slowly. You know, some close games against in the Eastern Tournament, but slowly but surely this team is starting to come on. And I think they're going to have to be reckoned with in the Red Division, Phil.
I think you're absolutely right, Jimmy. They're, you know, we were warned that they could be a surprise team, and they're developing nicely. And they're, as I said, the better the competition, you got the feeling the better they're going to play as well.
Right, and tomorrow night against Edison, that ought to be another good challenge for them.
Well, East Brunswick improves its record to 4-3 with a plastering, if you will, of Sayreville, 72-54. So for Phil Hill and Jim Allinder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.